Volunteers are using science and sound waves to figure out how to fix the sand problem at Lakes Altoona and Eau Claire. Katrina Lim tells us about a new mapping system coming to the Chippewa Valley.
Studies have shown Lake Altoona and Lake Eau Claire have extremely high rates of sedimentation, but no one knows exactly how high. That's where bathymetric mapping comes in. On Lake Eau Claire, the Lake Eau Claire Protection and Rehabilitation District put in sediment traps over the last several years and cleaned them out annually.
Now we're looking to see if those traps are doing what we think they're supposed to do, which is keeping the sand out of the lake and allowing some areas with heavy sedimentation to scour themselves out and open it back up again.
In order to measure how quickly sand is filling in at both Lake Altoona and Lake Eau Claire, the two lake districts invested $30,000 to purchase equipment that uses sonar and satellite-based GPS to make bathymetric maps.
You're actually measuring where the ground floor of the lake is. But with that, you can determine the depth of the lake and how it changes.
On Wednesday, volunteers began training with classroom instruction on how to use the equipment and then went out on boats on Lake Eau Claire to practice measuring. Officials say the Eau Claire River brings a lot of eroding sand and silt from banks upstream down to the lakes. And if they continue to fill up, our lakes can eventually disappear.
There are several areas of the lake that you can't boat in anymore. Some residents can't get to the water anymore in their boats. And there's even a boat landing on the south side of the lake that's not accessible anymore in a decent sized boat. And then it's also starting to fill in some of the better habitat we have for fish habitat, waterfowl, things like that.
Plus the fact it would be detrimental to the lower Chippewa River because all of the sediment collected by each of these reservoirs would continue to progress into the Chippewa River, and it would create severe problems in Eau Claire. It would create severe flooding problems in Eau Claire and downstream.
Officials and volunteers plan to map the lakes 2 to 3 times a year. Volunteers intend to map Lake Altoona on Friday. Mapping of Lake Eau Claire will follow.
Katrina Lim reporting there. The lakes districts are also considering extending use of the equipment to other lakes in the county and are applying for grants to jointly buy water quality test equipment.